Like Tracy said, I've been the city clerk for 3 years. I've been with the city of Mesa for, gosh, 20 years now. And she asked me to kind of talk a little bit about what the city clerk's office does. I'll give you a summary of our duties. First and foremost, the city clerk is the records keeper for the city. We manage the records management program. We make sure that all the departments comply with Arizona state law and city policy and retain their records. So that way, when you all request records from the city, we can provide those records in a timely manner. We administer the municipal elections. So some of the main duties associated with that is when somebody wants to run for office. When Danny Ray ran for mayor, I sat down with him, gave him the packet, kind of went over all of the guidelines, the rules, and how to run for office. I also do that for anybody that wants to circulate an initiative petition. If there's a city ordinance, city law, somebody wants to change, they'll meet with me, and I'll sit down and go over that whole packet. It's a voluminous packet, it's a complicated process, it's even a complicated process to run for office, but it's totally doable, especially with the right support and the right information. Another thing that the city clerk's office does is, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the open meeting law, but there is a state law that requires that any public meetings are posted and noticed 24 hours in advance, and the city clerk's office maintains that legal notice. So we make sure that all of the meetings that are going on in the city are legally noticed. I and usually a member of my staff attend all city council meetings, all council committee meetings. One of the things that we're charged with is making sure that all of the issues that come before council are appropriately documented in the minutes, and that all the legal actions are documented as well. And then, of course, then we manage all the council records, the minutes, the ords and resos, and we actually have records that go back to the early 1880s. It's a really fun, they're really fun documents to read because things have changed so much over the last, 150 years. How you can all get engaged now. Some of you are already engaged. Mr. Dufault filed an argument in the publicity pamphlet, so he became engaged that way. Danny Ray ran for mayor. Maybe he'll run for another office someday soon. If it's a local office, I would be happy to help out, or any of you help. I would be happy to help any of you that are interested in running for public office, local public office.
She was very helpful. Yes, she was very helpful.
Thank you. Thank you. I always say I'm Switzerland. I will give everybody the same level of customer service and respect that they deserve, because one thing that I can really appreciate, and I appreciated from your open forum part, was that you all are very passionate about what you believe. And, you know, I'm very passionate about what I do, and very passionate about elections. I love working elections. They're a lot of fun. They're very complicated. They're very passionate, but they are a lot of fun. But anyway, so back to the whole engagement part. Some of the ways that you can be engaged in your city is serving on advisory boards. I know Danny Ray was on, was it the design review board for a while, so serving on advisory boards, talking to your council members, coming to council meetings, watching council meetings. You really learn a lot about what's going on in the city and kind of the direction the city's going, programs that are coming up. Give your council members input, come to the council meeting, give your input during the open meeting or during the call to citizens at the end of council meetings. Anybody can submit a card and speak on any issue they wish, you know, and that's a great way to give them your feedback. There are a lot of volunteer opportunities in the city. There are various, a lot of the city departments have volunteer positions. It's a great way to find out what that department does, how it functions, especially if it's something that you're really interested in. If you're really interested, if you have a love of animals and you want to work in the animal control department, they have volunteer positions. Great way to learn what they do and how they do it. Become an active member of a neighborhood association, or create your own neighborhood association, or do what you're doing now, and you're getting together and you're taught once a month and you're talking about things you're passionate about and things you want to change and things you don't agree with, which is great. You know, not everybody thinks the same way. Government is a partnership between citizens and their elected officials. So your voice is as important as anybody else's voice, because that's the only way that your elected officials will know what you want to change or what you want to implement in your community. Those are some of the ways that you can become engaged in local government. Now, I'm just going to kind of gloss over a little bit on how, if you're interested in running for public, and I will back up and say, I brought some like election FAQs. I think you are all pretty familiar with the question 1 FAQs. I think you guys have got that. But I do have those FAQs. I'm pretty sure you're probably all registered to vote. I have voter registration forms. I'll just leave all of that information. I do have one pamphlet that I do for candidates that are running for council. It's a candidate brochure, and I'll leave that. It is for 2016, but I haven't done 2018 yet. I'm still gearing up for November 8th, so I'll worry about that after January. So anyways, but so anybody that's interested, I'll leave my business card too. You can call me and I'd be happy to walk you through anything. Anyway, so kind of what we do, we assist with the attorney's office on the ballot language. I don't really have any feedback into the ballot language itself, just it has to be this many words. It's too long, it's too short, it's, you know, that the county has very strict regulations in terms of how many words we can have, especially on a consolidated ballot. As you could see from the ballot you probably have already received, it's quite a long ballot. So they have limitations on how long it can be. But then we always make sure we have more than sufficient information in that publicity pamphlet, which we also produce and publish and distribute. To run for city council, the next election is 2018, and there will be offices in districts 4, 5, and 6 that are open. And the main requirements is that you're a qualified elector and that you have lived in that district for 2 years prior to filing nomination paperwork. So there's just like that 2-year requirement, but those 3 offices will be open. Probably early next summer, I'll probably start getting really people that are really interested in running for those seats. They'll start calling me, making an appointment, getting the packets, that kind of thing. So early summer, I'll have those packets ready because they do start about 15 months ahead of time. That's when they start running for office. So I've just got this one election. I'll have a 6-month break, and then I'll gear up for the next one. And then there's, like I said, the packet's pretty, you know, it's a big packet of information, but it is definitely doable if you're, you know, if you're interested in doing that. So just contact me after the first of the year if you're interested in running in 2018. And I think that's it. I talk really fast. Any questions?
I have a question. Is Mesa on the same election cycle as the regular general election, even number of years?
The county, yeah, the fall, even number of years, yeah.
And so most of the primaries will be done through the summer and then conclude in August, and if there's not 50+1, it'll go into the November ballot?
Right, exactly. So for instance, this election, it was districts 1, 2, and 3. And the candidates in districts 1 and 3 received a majority, so they were outright elected. So the candidates in District 2, there were 3 candidates on the ballot in August, and the 2 that received the highest number of votes roll over to the general election ballot. So they appear on the ballot in November. Yeah.
Thank you.
Are there special elections anymore?
There are. There was, I think the last special that we had in the city, what year are we in? I think we had 2013. There was a special council called a special election. So there can be.
And what's an election cost?
And it depends on when we have the election. An election in like this year, which is called a consolidated election, it's a lot cheaper. It runs somewhere in the neighborhood of $250,000 to $300,000. And then on that off election cycle, that special election, runs somewhere around $500,000.
Okay.
I believe the city council meetings are recorded.
They are.
Can a citizen request to see one of those?
They're actually online, they're on the website, so you can go right on there and watch city council meetings.
The past ones?
Yeah, and they usually, like, when they have a regular, like, I think the next regular is November 7th, usually by the next day, the recording is available online. So, but then you can always request a CD or whatever, but, yeah, but it's all there for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.